Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Straight Up Show podcast. I am your host, Calvin, joined by my co-host, Brandon and Lee. And like I said, this is a brand new year, brand new season of Straight Up Show podcast. We've been going strong and we've had some great guests so far. But today is no different because we're going to talk about how important it is to be financially stable this year. I mean, we haven't spent much money last year. So, I mean, are some of y'all saving? I know myself, all because of Brandon's wedding. I started a savings account and then I wasn't unable to go. But I've seen the benefits of actually saving money. So first off, before you even get started with all that, how you guys doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be talking about finances. That's one of my favorite topics, finances.
I'm doing well. I'm new to the whole fiscal responsibility thing, so I'm looking forward to hearing all these tips and tricks.
Yeah, man, because both of y'all are married, so I'm pretty sure money is a little bit more tighter for y'all than it is me.
Just a little.
You'll be surprised what a little teamwork can do with some, investment is huge.
I like how both of y'all's voices just went up like
It's guys, it for real. It marriage is, man, that it turns your finances upside down.
It turns your finances into a conversation.
Yes.
All right, this might be personal. But do y'all have separate accounts or what?
I know we will be, but we're planning on having quite a few accounts.
All of ours are separate, but we just, like I said, we just kind of discuss everything as we get paid.
We will have a joint though.
Y'all will get a joint.
Yeah, we will have a joint.
All right. Well, I have another question for y'all. Have y'all been stimulated for a second time?
I've been stimulated many times, sir.
I was like, what stimulator are we talking about? Now, I've received mine, but of course, and even Calvin, you should know as well with your work, they really messed up this time around. So
yeah, I haven't gotten mine yet. I haven't got the second one yet. Not that I say that I need it. No, I have not gotten.
Oh my God.
Maybe by the time this episode airs, maybe I've gotten it, but probably not. And I'm on a different bracket now, but I'm not for sure if that's the same thing. I've seen people who make more money than I am. I make, and they've got it, so I'm not for sure what's going. Anyway, but I digress on that. But with this previous stimulus check that I've gotten, I know what to do with it because I didn't need it, so I just kind of put it in the bank, and so being in a different state, being on a different tax bracket, it's kind of more. I feel I have more of a responsibility to be more financially educated, more than my parents were because I love my parents, but they weren't as financially educated. So this is a brand new learning experience. Like I said I'm past my 30s. Well, I'm past my 20s, and I've never had a savings account. So this is brand new to me. So what can I do with all this money I have saved up and it's just sitting there? So on this episode, we're going to talk about taking the money that you have and whether it be a little, maybe it be a lot, and we should try to invest this money. But one thing that's been going on, Brandon, I'm not for sure if you heard of this early, cryptocurrency. Have you heard of that at all?
I have, which is funny. We're having this conversation. Like I said, a friend of mine was hounding me about it yesterday. So like it was funny that we started talking about this.
Yeah. I just always kind of assumed it was like a weird dark web thing because I didn't really have anyone in my life that dealt with it.
Well, it's crazy. It's so it is like a question mark, which is I'm very excited about this episode. It's a huge question mark, like, and there's so many cryptocurrencies. I think there's even another one that's just popped up, like uranium or something like that.
I have no idea. I am out the loop, but of course, as it is on Straight Up, if we don't know what something is, we're going to go out there and find it. And of course, I have two guests today who actually specialize in helping people to create income online and help others. Now, they want to share their health and wealth together with their cryptocurrency knowledge. So make sure you guys stay tuned because up next, we will tell you how to make yourself wealthy in 2021. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, Lee here. And guess what? The reviews are in and the Straight Up Show podcast is a hit. Don't believe me? Well, listen to what one of our guest panelists, Dr. Monique Thompson, has to say.
Listen, y'all listening to Straight Up and support this podcast, because I listened in before I came on the show. I liked what I heard. They're really focusing on keeping things real and being real with you, and I like that approach. So you guys support this podcast.
So if you want to listen, donate to the show, have a subject idea, or even want to be a guest, just contact us at straightupshow@gmail.com. That's straightupshow@gmail.com.
Vaccines are here. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But don't get sloppy. We still have to practice social distancing, play safe, and be smart. The virus is still here, and only high-risk workers will receive the first batch of vaccines. And you have to take 2 doses to get the full effect, so supply is limited. And remember, we're all in this together, and it shows when we stand hand in hand, making our dreams come true.
All right, so we're back. It's a brand new year. A lot of us got a lot of stimulus checks. I didn't get mine yet. I'm kind of mad about that, but it's a brand new year, and it's time for us to be more financially educated. And I know that I talked about me growing up in the hood, and my parents weren't as financially educated. So now that I'm older, I'm seeing how important it is to get my finances in check and have everything right, so I can better myself, not only for me, but for my generation now. So today I have 2 guests that I actually met on the new app called Clubhouse, and man, they are dropping gems, which is kind of knowledge people who know the Clubhouse lingo, but they're dropping gems, giving people free advice about financial literacy. And I had to have them on my show because it's a brand new year and we cannot take any steps back. So without further ado, help me welcome Mr. Ignacio Zambrano II, and his co-partner, Mr. Justin Manley, aka JKrypto, and aka Iiggie for Ignacio. How you guys doing today?
Doing well, brother. I appreciate you having us on the show, man. 2021 is definitely a big year for us, so we're definitely excited. We got a lot of things that we're working on, so definitely appreciate you having us on.
Hey, I'm just glad to be here, man. It's an honor being on here with you. Glad I got the invite, and I'm ready to talk about some of these topics, and drop these gems, as you say, for the people. So,
All right, and like I said, man, I met y'all on Clubhouse, man, and I just said, man, it's 2021. It's people like y'all that I have to have on my show. But before we jump into that, I'm gonna start with Iiggie. Iiggie, can you just tell us about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Ignacio Zambrano II. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. Well, Floyd, Mississippi, but Jackson, Mississippi, and moved out to Dallas, Texas. I have a social media marketing advertising company that I've been able to help small businesses create massive income online, specifically with running Facebook, Instagram ads, helping them create multiple six-figure months. Also helping individuals understand how to take their intellectual property, package it, and be able to distribute it online so they can generate revenue and profits, and then being able to leverage those profits in other areas like crypto and blockchain technology. So kind of took that journey in the marketing aspect, and which kind of led me to where I am now currently in business and in life, and just awareness and consciousness, with has led my brother Justin kind of to co-found the Whealthy Enterprises, which as you see, Whealthy spelled with an H, WHEALTHY, because we hear so much that health is wealth. So we want to create a lifestyle brand, but not just a brand. We want to be able to provide real and innovative solutions for people that will actually help you create wealth and establish proper health holistically, right? And that was a big deal. This actually, came about prior to anything about the vaccine or the pandemic or the COVID, anything, just really looking to help our people truly understand the power of health and how that plays a role into creating true legacy. Right? We talk about generational wealth so much, but it's got to get to the point where we really having a conversation about generational health. And if we're out here we're teaching everybody how to go get a bag, how to retrieve the bag, how to make the bag, but we're not teaching them how to maximize their health so that they can experience the bag that is worked so hard to retrieve, right? Then we're pretty much working ass backwards, right? And so being able to put things in place to open the awareness and the minds and the consciousness of our people, to let them see down a hallway clearly and understand that I can get from point A to point B, but the traditional way of doing that is not necessary, right? I believe in education, but not institutionalized education. I call it more alternative education, meaning that you're continuing to educate yourself, but you're getting information directly from the source, whether that's a mentor, whether that's opening up to the age of the internet. We're in the information age. We're either selling or buying information. So I want to help people understand how to position themselves as a producer and not the consumer in the situation of this information exchange. So in a nutshell, that's kind of who I am.
All right. And then, of course, thank you so much for that, Iiggie. And of course, you got your partner, Justin. Justin, they call you JKrypto, man, because you give a cryptocurrency information. And just tell us a little bit about you, JKrypto.
For sure, man. I mean, my name is Justin, but I go by J or JKrypto, whichever is fine. I'm originally from South Carolina, in Seneca, so probably a town most people never heard of, but it's near like Clemson, South Carolina. I grew up in the country, and I now reside in Dallas, Texas, and I've been here about 3 years, and I got a long background in, sales and marketing. That's kind of like where I started out my entrepreneur journey. Started in network marketing, of course, and that industry pushed me into internet marketing. And I learned, we were one of the first people on the Facebook ads manager running the sponsor ads that you see now on a daily basis when you're on Instagram, that people are like, they're thinking like it's some type of mind reading software when it's just an algorithm that's in place where they have collected data, and people there's time, even now to this day, people kind of get a little weird about when they go on Google and they type something in, and then like they're like, well, I just typed that in on Google and now it's popping up on my feed. So we were one of the first people to really get into that space and really understand it. And so we've been able to build, e-commerce stores and help clients who have had e-commerce stores, take their profits and gross from, 5K to, over 100,000, $200,000, $300,000 within a month of sales. And so being in that space kind of got me to go into the tech space with different just innovative platforms. I used to always sit in here working and developing, building these platforms, and Iggie's more of the technical guy who can go in and build a system and build out funnels and things of that nature, sales funnels for different clients. And I would just kind of be there and be like, hey bro, can we do this, or like can we put this together this way so that the system does this? And then he's like, let me see, bro, give me 24, give me 48 hours, let me see if I can create it. And 9 times out of 10 he was able to create it every single time. So like kind of like whatever it was that we were kind of corresponding on that we wanted to create, we were able to create. And so we're just I'm just one of the guys who have a background in that. And then also moving from that, that stemmed into cryptocurrency. And then, I got involved in cryptocurrency because of this cool technology on the blockchain called dApps, which is it stands for decentralized applications. And getting involved with that, I seen the power of what the blockchain really is. And it was kind of like rough at the beginning, starting out, but then being more knowledgeable on it and getting more information, it got me into studying, about Bitcoin and different coins like Ethereum and other altcoins that are in the marketplace. And just really understanding, not just from a trading and mining aspect, but that the blockchain is literally something that, it is something that we can utilize as a people and as a culture to really be at full self-govern, be able to fully self-govern ourselves, when it comes to transactions and, creating platforms where we have products and being able to tokenize these products and things of that nature, to be able to really create our own economy, but not only create our own economy and system, but, we're at the point with the blockchain where we can now create our own currencies and create our own communities within these currencies, to build, I'll get into speaking on that a little bit later on in the show, but that's pretty much in a nutshell. That's what I've been working on, and that's what I stand for. I just stand firm on pushing the culture forward. I think that we were having a conversation earlier, and my brother Iiggie mentioned something like our culture is in this space of where we know how to do one side of things, like we know how to identify the problem, but we need to now get together, start communicating, and start creating these solutions. And I'm a firm believer in health being the foundation of what true wealth is. What we put into our bodies is what we're going to produce in all aspects of life, and we're actually connected in a way. Everything in the world is connected. All of us are connected through this universe, and so just making the decision to have a conscience. I think for so many years we haven't had a conscience as a people because we just live in this microwave society that's just everything is fast. Even when we look at our phones and we look at social media and how we consume content nowadays, everything is fast. You got less than 3 seconds now when it comes to content, when you're scrolling down your feed on Instagram and stuff like that. And so our attention spans, these devices have made our attention spans very short. And so it's a gift and a curse. One side of it is like you see the innovation of technology. So you're able to see the evolution of the mind, and it's it's a great thing to see, but it's also like it's a two-edged sword or a gift and a curse, as I said, because on the flip side of that, it's made our attention span a little bit shorter, or a lot shorter. And so just just understanding that we have to have balance and creating that balance. We need to be aware, and we need to be conscious of the things that we put in our bodies so that we can go out and create the things that are going to be beneficial to the world. And I think that, all of that is connected from a spiritual aspect too as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I stand on, and that's who I am, bro.
So that's JKrypto and Iiggie, and y'all are with Whealthy with an H, providing real innovative solutions for creating wealth and establishing holistic health. Man, I'm so glad y'all are on the show today, man, because when it comes to health, I'm basic. When it comes to wealth, I'm basic. So, I mean, and like I said, Iiggie, I talked to you about the health portion of everything, and like, I'm getting it. This is 2021, no cutbacks, no setbacks. Let's get it in. And so we're going to talk about this wealth and health, more of the wealth side, because, I told a lot of my listeners that I moved to Dallas for more of a financial opportunity. And I've been here almost 2 years, and I've seen my finances grow tremendously. And like, and if y'all, for those who don't know me, like I've never had a savings account, and I've had a savings account for the first time since this year, and it's like, wow, I see the difference. So with that being said, and either one of y'all can take this, but let's just jump right into it. So it's 2021. People were getting stimulus checks and things like that. But I want to know. One, I hate math. I hate numbers. I hate numbers because, like, I'm more of a talker, as you can tell. So the number aspect, I see a lot of people talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Um, like, what exactly is cryptocurrency? And like what is bitcoins, and how can people get inside bitcoins, or work like what is bitcoins and what is cryptocurrency?
Yeah. This is Iiggie, man. I'll jump in and just kind of start off. And I know my brother definitely gonna lay a lot more knowledge down. But just in a general sense and understanding, especially for our people, right, getting access to these what we call stimmies, right, these stimulus checks. And you'll hear some people in the marketplace, well, you need to go get you LLC, which at some point I do believe you need to do that. You need to go and set up buy crypto. And this, everybody's telling everybody to do everything with their money. You need to be doing this, right? And the energy of that is we just want our people to be better, but we have to look at it and understand who are these people, where are they at when they receive this money, right? You may need all of that $600 to pay light bills or get food for that you haven't been able to get the past couple of weeks, right? But the thing that we do need to be mindful of and conscious of is that if you have excess money within that stimulus, right? Or you that sick, whether it's $5, whether it's 10 bucks, you need to be looking at ways to get access to cryptocurrency, right? And one of the simplest ways to do that is through Cash App. Now you can go and you can buy Bitcoin literally in Cash App. You don't need any extra type of thing. You can have a Cash App right now. You can put money in there, go to little squiggly lines at the bottom, click on Bitcoin, and you can purchase Bitcoin right there, and you can have access and hold it. But the thing is about buying it, you want to understand what it is that you're buying. And I'll just kind of give you a quick backstory of Bitcoin, how it came into fruition, why it came, and the mindset of that I've really taken from that. When Justin was talking about the aspect of solutions, right? We talk about problems a lot, right? We can identify problems really, really quick and get upset about it and get all emotional about it, but we are slow to come up with the solution. So Bitcoin was literally, we know about the Great Depression, we know about the Great Recession with the market crash in 2008, right? And so with all this, literally a group of nerds and developers and tech guys got together and they was like, the banking system is so fucked up, right? It is so fucked up and something has to change. And versus going to the people who fucked up the system, the actual banking system itself, and get them to try to fix it, it was like, we don't need an institution to decide how we transact with our money. So they literally developed a technology, a cryptic technology, using ancient cryptology, right, and built that into technology so that we no longer need a middleman to transact. So it literally was a rebellion against the current centralized banking system to say we don't need the institution anymore to say when, where, how, why, and with who we can transact with. So it allowed the technology, as long as there's two computers in the world, the blockchain will exist and you can transact. I can transact all the way across the world within seconds with no middleman. And now understanding the possibility of Bitcoin and how you can send, if you need to send $1 million worth of Bitcoin to your friend in Timbuk7, right, across the world, right, you can do that directly from an app. I don't have to go to a bank, say, I really need to send this money, and they tell me, well, you can send the money, but it's going to cost this extra amount to send, and it's going to take 7 to 14 business days. And what account are you sending it to? International wire? None of that. Why am I paying you extra money to just send my money for you? And we've been in this state of mind to believe that we are too stupid, too ignorant, aren't responsible enough to to be able to have access, our sole access to our own money, and we give it to a bank, and then they charge us for that, and then tell us when and where and why we can't use our money. So I heard you mention 2020 was the first year where you have access to a savings account, which is definitely great. But I want also to lay this perspective out when we look at having our money work for us, right? Because when I speak about wealth, I speak about the understanding that in simple terms, you need more money coming in than you going out. And when you look at that, there's only so many hours in a day, so you need passive residual income, right? That streams that are bringing money in. We have to understand that this technology, that these systems are in place that allow us to do this, and being able to package information that's in our mind to move forward and be able to generate this revenue. So when we look at this information, we understand that we look at the average rate of interest rate of a savings account. We compare that to the average inflation rate. And regardless of what it is, because it varies, right? But regardless of what it is, you're going to see that the inflation rate is actually higher than the interest. So just by having your money sitting there, you're actually losing money, right? So you'll hear a lot, and I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but you'll hear a lot of people who have created massive amount of wealth, who were in the investing space, in the real estate space, speak about cash flow, right? Speaking about the flow of the cash, right? If it's sitting, you sitting, I guess it's like you in the safari, and you just sitting in the middle, out and open. The lion gonna come get you. They know exactly where you at, right? But you have to reposition yourself and re-strategize to understand, I need my money to be working, right? It needs to be working for me, not just sitting. So looking at cryptocurrency, understanding, the process of how it works, being able to invest in that, buying and holding coins, right? That's one aspect of it, is just the coin aspect, which is the same way you have fiat money, you have the USD, you have the euro, you have the peso, right? You have the Japanese yen. The same way you have cryptocurrencies, and each coin is backed by a certain use case, right? We talked about Bitcoin wanting to solve the problem of the banking industry, right? We look at Ethereum, which was actually built as a technology so that the average person, now that you can be a developer or a finance developer, and you can build your own what we call smart contract or decentralized app on there, where you can remove a lot of center. People are doing legal transactions on blockchain now. People are managing a donor list automatically, which is speeding up the process. So it's removing that middleman, and that middleman, you hitting up somebody that told you that they got something for you, right? And they the middleman. Now, not only you're dealing with the time of whoever is the direct source, but now you got to deal with on the time of the middleman, and they drop the ball sometimes, or they throw it too far, or whatever the case may be. So this is allowing us to self-govern, right? To know self, to be for self, to do for self, right? And the more we understand how that works internally and how we can access this, the more we can help our people. And cryptocurrency, I don't want people get caught up in just the hype of the crypto space without doing their due diligence and being educated on what it is, why it is, and how it can best benefit them. Right? There's a lot of people that jumped into Bitcoin, in the past 2 weeks, a lot of them because of a post Meek Mill said, right? And they bought up a bunch of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin, what we call, had like a retrace or a drawback, so it dipped. And everybody's like, oh, losing money, but not understanding how markets work, right? You see it go up and down, and understand that we call a drawback is really preparation for a slingshot. So versus buying it when it's high, waiting for that drawback, and buying when it's low so you can make more. Simple things like this is educating yourself. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a crypto genius or anything like that, but I understand that if I'm going to partake in something, and this is something that I'm going to be utilizing, and I'm going to be telling people about, I need to at least know a little bit about what I'm talking about in order to share this. And so being able to understand the cash flow, money moving, is a lot better and more beneficial than just money sitting. So that's kind of my spiel on it. I know my bro Jay got a lot to say on it, so I'm gonna let him kind of.
No,
I
man,
mean, you pretty much explained it. I mean, as far as like everything that it is, I just see it as, you know, and long live Nipsey Hussle. But I kind of see it the same way he seen it back, you know, in 2017 when he was speaking on it in 2016. And one of the things that he said is, you know, I see cryptocurrency as a form of karma. Um, and basically what he was saying by that was basically the same thing that Iiggie was speaking on about the developers getting together. You know, they created this system, they created this platform, they created something that they said instead of us marching and protesting, you know, on Wall Street, we're just going to develop we're just going to develop the software for it. We're going to develop the technology, and that's going to be our way of protesting, you know. And so you know, I just see it as a form of karma because the you know, the banking systems have been built you know, to be, you know, corrupted and crooked for so many years. It was built off of that foundation, and there was a group of individuals who had a different a different level of intellect and brain power, and they came together and was like, look, like, we're gonna create this. And you know, they created Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin birthed, and then, you know, from there, uh you know, a lot of people don't know this, but Bitcoin is actually the original blockchain. You know, before blockchain was called blockchain or blockchain technology, Bitcoin is basically what blockchain is. That's why they say Bitcoin is the mother of all coins, right? Because you have Bitcoin, and then you have the blockchain. You have blockchain technology, because there was a point where, you know, blockchain was a product, you know, and they banned blockchain as a product. But you can't ban blockchain as a technology because it's intellectual property. And so as long as, as long as the internet is up and running, and we got these devices, you basically have, you know, the blockchain is there. And so yeah, I just see it as a form of karma. And, you know, I see it as something that, you know, we can utilize as a people if we can get enough people to you know, understand, you know, the concept behind this, and be willing to be pioneers of it. If you're, you know, just getting involved in it, don't think that, you know, just because you get involved in cryptocurrency and you start trading or you start mining or, you know, you start doing some stuff with it, that you're just going to get rich overnight, even though it can happen. But don't just see that as something that is going to be an outlet. You know, really be somebody that, you know, wants to understand it and wants to educate yourself on it, so that you can utilize it to your advantage. Because I believe that, you know, once blockchain and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency it's once again, it's another one of those things that's a two-edged sword, because it is very dangerous. Because at the end of the day, people are still going to be people, right? And so just like how we have regular fiat money, people do bad things with fiat money. It's the same thing, you know, when it comes to blockchain and crypto. You know, you look at something that, you know, that is as powerful as, you know, me sending a transaction. If I want to send somebody $1 million in cryptocurrency, I now have the power to do that within 1 second. Not even, you know, I can send somebody that money. So that is a powerful thing to be able to do. And so we know that with great power, there also follows great responsibility. And so I think that we have something that if people can get involved in and become accustomed to and start utilizing. This is something that I feel that the elites and the people, who are, running the world, so to say, I believe that this technology is something that could overthrow the power of those people. And I think that because it is capable of doing that, it makes it a very dangerous thing too, because and we have to look at both sides of this, but when you take a look at money, money would not have any value if there was not illegal things going on. You know what I mean? Not condoning for people to do illegal things, but it just wouldn't have any value. That means that you could walk in a grocery store right now and just grab a loaf of bread off of the counter and just walk out without a transaction even happening, right? And so when we look at that and we look at the power of this technology, it's just, we have to be mindful of what we have our hands on. And we have to also be mindful of the people that we deal with when we are doing business on the blockchain, because it is a peer-to-peer network, right? And so that makes it secure. So we as the people just have to make sure that, as long as we're keeping our integrity and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, it's peer-to-peer. It's, hey, I know you, you know me. We're making this transaction. This is how we're doing business. We're not going through a banking system. We're not going through a third-party merchant. We have enough responsibility to say, hey, look, I'm going to pay you this amount for this service or this product. I'm going to send it directly to your wallet, and you're going to receive it. Once you receive it and that's confirmed, you're going to have the integrity to say, okay, I have the money that you sent me, and I'm going to send you the product, or I'm going to handle the service that you have paid for. And if we can get in this mind frame of integrity and utilizing this powerful technology, then we'll see more than we're going to see more than just a revolution in the coming years, but we're going to see a huge level of higher evolution that is going to happen when it comes to currency and how business is conducted and how transactions are conducted on a daily basis. So that's my spiel for it.
No, and you, man, you're doing great, man. And I'm glad that you mentioned Nipsey Hussle, because that's one of the questions I was going to ask you about. Was Nipsey Hussle? Because he was gone. He was taken from us too soon, man. And like just the knowledge he was spitting, man. And like there's a lot of conspiracy theories about Nipsey Hussle and what he was, why he was taken away. But I mean, man, if you think about the mission he was on, man, like it was more than hip hop. It was more about the culture and giving back to the culture, because we're so blinded by so much stuff in the world, man. And like I'm one of those people. I was blinded, and like I thank God that I have people like you and Iiggie to like drop gems on everybody, just to say, hey, it's not for us, it's more to help our culture. So you can give back. And man, these two guys, I'm telling y'all, we're gonna have their information at the end of the show. But man, before we even go into break, man, these guys, man, bless y'all, man, because like I'm learning so much just interviewing y'all and talking to y'all, man. So we're gonna have more with JKrypto and Iiggie on the other side of the break. Stay tuned.
A lot of people ask us, what is Straight Up? What is your show about? Well, this world has many voices, and we all share this space together, but we have our own opinions and our own identities. But before I answer that question, let me ask you, what does being straight up mean to you?
Being straight up means to be able to speak in a way that is straight up, to be honest, and to speak your truth.
Raw, uncut, you know what I mean? It's blunt, straight to the point. This is what it is.
It's just a place to be open and honest, and that's what I appreciate most about it. And it provides a place for community members to come together and just be straight up with each other about things that are going on in the world, because it affects all of us.
Unfiltered, raw with all the cursing that Calvin does.
Straight up is just being real, telling it like it is, being you.
Being solid, being who you are, no matter what it is, no matter what situation you're faced with. Right, this is who you are. It really speaks to me, saying it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. Straight up.
Unique answers, right? That's why our show is different from any other show that you ever listen to. We embrace the uncomfortable conversations. We accept those who are different from us. But most important, we learn from each other. So join the conversation. But if you do, there's only one rule to our show. You gotta be.
All right, so we're talking about financial literacy, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and just being overall wealthy with an H. Because with that being said, I do have my guest Ignacio Zambrano II, Justin Manley, aka JKrypto, and aka Iiggie for Ignacio. So these guys have been giving us education on financial literacy, about joining cryptocurrency. But I want to ask them, so, and either one of y'all can take this question, but so I understand what y'all are saying. So I know last year, one of my friends told me that I should get an app called Acorn. And what it is that it takes whatever debit card or whatever credit card financial like transaction, and it puts the change into like a stock. So like if something costs like $12.98, that 2 cents will round up to the $13, but that 2 cents goes into like a stock. So is that something that is that a great app or something like that, or stocks, and how important are stocks?
Yeah, man, that's a great question, man. And to be 100% transparent, I actually just invested in my first set of stocks just literally last night, right? But I understand the need for the stock. And so you mentioned Acorn. Acorn is a great introductory app for the stock market, right? I'm somebody that actually was one of the affiliates who was promoting Acorn on the front end for the referral money they were paying, as well as the investing. As far as actually purchasing a stock, I did that first last night. But what Acorn does, if those guys who don't know what Acorn is, we're listening right now, what you want to do is just go to your Google Play App Store, go to your Apple store, App Store, and download Acorn, create you a free account, connect your debit card, and like I was saying, is literally when you swipe your card, the change or that what they call like a roundup will be going to and being invested, and you can see that right there in the market. So the change that you just had anyway would be like if you had you go and you spend like cash in the store, and you got the change, that sits in your console, or you find it in your pocket, or you got the change drawer at home, or the piggy bank, or whatever. That would be the equivalent. Instead of it, remember we were talking about earlier, money just sitting. Instead of that money sitting, it actually being automatically invested into the stock market and being able to receive returns on whatever money's invested, right? That's a great way to get started in there. All right, another kind of step up is an app called Robinhood. This app literally allows you to purchase small fractions of stock. Like I'm talking about being able to buy stock in Tesla, Zoom, Airbnb, like Amazon, like all the tops of the index and the Fortune 500 and 100, like all these companies that are on the S&P, you'll be able to have access to them. Now, with this, you do need more understanding and more skill set and more knowledge as far as like how to go in and how to look at the charts and understand which ones to buy. But you have access. This is way different than, a lot of people when they hear stocks or about stock market, investing stock, they think of like the Wolf of Wall Street, right? And think about some guy calling you up and taking whatever money that you have and put it into some type of fund, stock, or whatever that's going to bring you a return. Well, we're talking about removing middleman. We're talking about technology. We're talking about finance. It's literally a technology that allows you to have direct access to the marketplace and be able to invest stocks. Go out and get the knowledge, the specialized knowledge from a mentor or YouTube or a course or whatever, and being able to apply that and actually take these trades. So the stock market is something that our people it's been held from us, right? It's been this information been held from us for so long. But last year I noticed, like, so many people were forced into the entrepreneurship realm. So many people were forced into to looking at other ways of creating income. So the stock market became more relevant. Robinhood became more relevant to our community. So there are a lot of people in the marketplace that are teaching. You can literally get on Instagram and find a number of people who look just like us, right? Who have created the results that are verifiable through not only what they are posting, but other people who are recommending them, right? Verified results. And you can get access to this, pay a little bit of money, get access to it, and start going in and seeing how to invest your money and make money passive. Because again, everybody only has 24 hours in a day. So we have to be looking at things like stocks, things like crypto, things like e-commerce, right? Things like real estate, things like Airbnb, in order to generate different streams of income, right? So back to just beginning, Acorn it's perfect for somebody who's just getting started, doesn't know a lot or anything about the stock market. You know how to download the app, you know how to connect your debit card to an app, and you know how to go make purchases. And that's literally the starting process for you. And your money will the little change that you would throw it to your coin holder, right? That's on the digital change is actually being deposited into the Acorn app, and your money will start working for you. And when we look at the power of that, and we talk about combining or compounding a penny every day, right? You can understand the power of what that can do each and every day that you have money flowing into that. So Acorn is a great app, but I also recommend Robinhood. And you definitely going and doing research on the best ways to utilize that as well.
And Jay, you got something to say, Jay?
Nah, I'm gonna let my brother have that one. Stocks are, they're they're still in in act. People can get involved in them. I'm not really the expert on the stocks. I've looked at a few of them. I got involved in a few of them. But I'm not like the chart reader or anything like that. I have researched. I will say that if you are interested, start researching Chinese stocks, because there's a lot of people over there making a lot of money from these Chinese stocks that you have these tech startups, and you have a lot of these companies, like they have a Chinese version of Tesla that is looking like it's going to do the same exact run as Tesla. I think it's at about anywhere between like $40 and $60 a share right now. I'm not sure, I haven't looked at it, but it's called NIO, and that's NIO, I believe. So that's a good one to look at. But I mean, other than that, I have my mixed feelings about stocks, so that's why I'm not even gonna speak on stocks. But people, I have a lot of friends, like I say, my bro Iggie's involved in them. I have a lot of friends out here in Dallas. They're on Robinhood, and they're making some good money off of these stocks, and some of them are for long term, and then they're day trading a little bit on some of the other ones. So you just have to, like Iiggie was saying, you just have to be knowledgeable going into to dealing with these stocks and getting involved in the stock market. You have to understand market research, and you just have to understand that game. You getting in that game, and that's you dealing with you in there you're in the lion's den when you get out there with them stocks and you start putting money in. So you just got to be aware, and that's kind of how I see the stock market.
Yeah, and I'm glad y'all said all that information to us. I think you said going to the lion's den, Jay. I think that especially where I grew up at, our culture, we leave our homes, especially in the Black and brown community, we leave our homes not knowing anything about credit, finances at all. Because I mean, we're already. I know in my family, y'all heard me say this before on the show that we lived in a house that was our rent was 150, and this wasn't no Section 8 or housing. This is a straight 150 rent, and they have boards. So I mean, of course, living like that, uh, I didn't know anything about finances, and then all of a sudden, that's why I didn't go to college right off the bat, because I can go to college off a Pell Grant. Then of course you're gonna have student loans, and so when you leave the nest of the house and you go to college, of course people are throwing money in your face, say, hey, we'll give you this, and so when it's time to actually be an adult, quote unquote, like our people are already in a hole. So what advice can y'all tell those people who are now in that hole before they can get their career or entrepreneurship started, and to those who are now in college or about to head to college, or how can they prepare themselves, like whether it be Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, or how can they kind of set themselves up to not be in a hole when they start their business or starting their entrepreneurship?
I mean, I'll say that for one, a lot of, like me, I didn't go to college when I got out of high school. I went straight into the military as soon as I got out. I just felt like I needed structure. But even then, going into the military, still being young, I still didn't really have, I wasn't making good decisions with my finances. You know what I mean? And like you say, like people are always throwing money at you. They want you to get these loans and things of that nature. And then so I did that. I went through that whole spill, and I messed my credit up like everybody else at one point, And so what I will say though is that if you're just moving into the point where you're about to transition into college, I will say that find something that you can put your money in, because you're going to be able to get these Pell Grants. You're going to be able to get these when you get these student loans, a portion of this money you're going to be able to utilize to actually spend. So instead of going and spending it on alcohol and partying and just the stuff that's not going to benefit you, take that money and get involved in cryptocurrency. And also another thing too is if there's reliable education outside of the system, because we were having a conversation the other day, me and Iiggie, and it's just like, look, like we're at web 3.0 right now, and with that being said, like there's absolutely, me personally, you can find pretty much, when it comes to educating yourself, you can literally find whatever education you want. You can literally find it on the internet these days. And so when we look at that, it's like, okay, well, where I'm getting at with that is, make sure that, if you're going to take the route of going to college, one, make sure that you take the money that you have that's expendable to be able to spend, and don't just spend it, but put it somewhere that's going to make you money, right? That's number one. Start a business. You can be selling freaking shirts. I don't know. You can sell anything while you're in college, and utilize your network while you're in college too, because that's the most important and the most valuable thing that you're going to be able to get out of college, I believe, is the network that you're able to create. So don't take the fact that you have a huge amount of people that you can connect with everybody, because you never know in the future what that person's going to be doing and how you're going to be able to maybe potentially work together at some point. So I always build those relationships and build them with good intentions and with integrity, right? So build your network, one. And two, like I say, invest, right? Whether it's you're investing into yourself and starting your own business while you're on campus somewhere and you're selling some sort of product or something like that. That's number two. Number three, making investments in things like cryptocurrency, right? And understanding blockchain, getting involved in the blockchain and blockchain technology, right? Educating yourself on it. But also something that I will say is to make sure that because we are on Web3, make sure that you are taking the time to utilize, whether it's profit from the business that you start while you're in college, or whether it's like money that they give you from a Pell Grant or something. But invest in your education outside of just college, right? In the regular system, you know what I mean? Because there's a gang of things right now that you can get involved in and learn and educate yourself on while you in college that can set you up for a higher level of success, like blockchain technology and crypto. They have literally entire courses online, entire, curriculums that, people can get involved in. And they're teaching this now in the colleges. They're teaching blockchain technology. So just being able to identify things that are going to be useful in the future and positioning yourself to be a problem solver in the future while you're going through that phase of college, if college is the route you want to take. Now, for me personally, after I got out of the military, and I was in the Army for 4 years. After I got out of that, I was like, I'm never working a 9 to 5 again. And I ended up going to college for about 2 semesters. I was getting paid basically to go to school. So I was like, I'm just go to school until I figure this stuff out. And I lasted 2 semesters and I was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to just drop out and I'm going to do my thing. And I went full-fledged from that day. I went full-fledged entrepreneur. And what's crazy is that the day that I dropped out of college was like, I had like 2 exams left in my midterms. And I was just like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this shit. And from there, that was my path, but I'm not telling anybody to follow the same path I did as far as dropping out of college. But that's what I did. It worked for me. But like I say, what I would do if I could do it all over again would be I would utilize my network. I would make sure that I'm networking, because that is going to be one of the most important things that you can do while you're in college. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and pass it over to my brother Iiggie, because I know he got something to say on this.
And before you do that, Iiggie, man, let me just give my respects to you, man, for serving our country, man, and being in the military, man. So definitely thank you so much for that.
Already, bro. Already, for sure.
All right, Iiggie.
Yeah, man. And I definitely got a lot to say about this topic, man. For those who are, maybe in a point where they're coming up on the last year of high school, and they're being, they made the decision to go to college, or maybe they're in between whether they should go to college, or their parents like, you got to go to college because I'm paying for it. Whatever that situation is, right? I'm gonna jump in 100% with bro as far as being able to create a network, right? I remember, like I told you earlier, I'm a big believer in alternative education, not institutional education. So my story growing up, right, from the age of 3 years old, my uncle was a brick mason and carpenter. Right, you literally fix anything. Build your brick mailbox, the fireplace, a step, barbecue pit, literally whatever it is, was able to do. And I was going out there working, learning a skill set, right? And over the course of years, I was able to learn the skill set where I can execute the task or the job myself, right? So I would see my uncle getting up, to go to work. If he had stuff to do in the morning, he would take care of that stuff. And when he get to the job at 12, if he needs to leave early, he would leave early. He and his wife, they want to take vacations 2 weeks out of the year, every single year. That's exactly what they did, traveling the world. So I was like, man, I already knew that the entrepreneurship lane was a lane that I wanted to drive in, like, and drive fast in. At the time, I thought that I was going to be taking over my uncle's business. I quickly learned that that's not something I just really want to do for the rest of my life. But I learned a lesson, which means that I can bet on me. And so when it got time to go to college, my freshman year of college, I too dropped out. I spoke in for the 50th anniversary of Emmett Till back in Mississippi. And I was spoken in front of a collegiate audience for HBCU there, Tougaloo College. And I remember in front of the college saying, in front of the students and in front of the panel of people who were, Professor this and Dr. that, is saying that I had the pleasure of dropping out of school. And everybody looking at me, eyes pop. But the thing is, I dropped out of the school because that wasn't for me. But networking was a big part of that. I went to a community college, but I was on the main university campus talking to people and networking. And so after my first, I dropped out my second semester, halfway through my second semester. But in that first semester, right, because I was on campus networking, I was talking to people, right, I identified a problem, and then I came with a solution. So I was that person on campus. I was selling snacks. I remember right before Katrina hit, right, my mom took me to Sam's Club. I just went to work that Saturday, and I made like $180, right? My mom took me to Sam's Club on that Sunday. It was I spent $200 on like chips and drinks and pops and shit. Because my dorm room, like everybody, when they leave the classrooms and they get back to the dorms, they had to pass by like my corner. So I was like, man, this is an investment. I identified a problem, and I was like, dang, man, like when people leave the cafeteria, man, like they ain't got no snacks. People be talking about food. Like, where we go to the gas station, you need a car to get there, or you got to take a 30-minute walk just to go get some chips. Like, so I came out with the solution, right? Go get it. I spent $200 my first day. I went in profit mode. My mom gave me the extra $20 I was getting ready to re-up, right, on the snacks. And then the guy across the hall from me was cutting hair. He was a barber. So I was like, man, shoot, you got a barber, when folks come in, you know what I'm saying? Let them know I got some snacks over here, and we can work it out like this. So we was literally like building that. And I saw right there, I was making money, right? I wasn't giving a damn about like going to class and somebody else telling me how smart or wasn't smart or educated I was or wasn't. Like, I ain't never been somebody that let somebody else tell me like where I qualify on whatever chart. Like, that's not my steez. Like, that's not how I rock. If I feel like I can do something, I'm gonna go out and do it. And the only way that I'm not gonna be able to do it is I'm gonna have to prove to myself that I can't do it. But if I see somebody else doing it, that's just proof enough to me that I can learn how to go out and do it. So identifying that problem, right? Taking that money that you're getting from these Pell Grants and these student loans. I was blessed not to get involved in the student loan game. I saw my mom dealing with student loans, and my dad, came up with credit, didn't know how to really leverage his credit, use it, but had good credit. But it was like, yo, don't matter what you do, don't get no student loan. That's like, he preached that to me the entire time, of during my high school. So all I knew was like, I'm not getting no student loan. Right, but I got access to certain scholarships, and I was RA, so I got room and board and things like that. And I needed money while I was on campus, so I found a problem, networked, found a solution, and started my business. What you taking this money that you're getting? Like, I saw so many people that they were buying cars, and they were putting systems in their car, they were putting rims in their car, right? And with the money they were getting back, and then a few months later, tow truck pulling up into the school, taking these cars with these rims and these systems they bought, and they ain't got nothing. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out how I can make the next dollar on campus by looking for problems and identifying. And the thing is, like my brother was saying, we were having a conversation just right before we got on this show, is about our people only having one half of the equation. They got the problem. We can identify a problem, but we are slow to the solution. But the solution is where the money resides. the solution is where the money resides. If the more solution driven you are, the better off you will be. Any business that is started was started to provide a solution to some type of problem, right? any innovation that happens is solving a problem. So if you can identify problems, take whatever money that you have access to, whether it's a stimulus check, whether it's your Pell Grant, whether it's a scholarship, whether it's a student loan, whatever it is, I say that if I could do it all over again as far as a college thing, what I would do is I would go and I would apply for as many scholarships as I could. I'll be writing all type of papers, duct tape, tuxedos, whatever I could do. I would get as much money. I would apply for student loans. I would take whatever money I could get access to in that the first couple of semesters of school, and I would take that and I would start me a business. I would invest in crypto, invest in some type of car, a rental business, wholesaling, houses, something. I would take that money and put it into, because it's so easy to get access to that student loan money, right? That's probably the easiest money as a black man in America, right? With no established credit. That's probably the easiest money you get access to. And I'm not saying they're going to give you all your money up front, but you can get a portion of that. You can go buy you a $500 vending machine, right? You can put $500 in the crypto, or you can go buy you a $500 course to learn how to do real estate, so you can have you a side hustle in college. That broke college student mentality is not a reason anymore for it, because you got the internet. You going and doing your work, which is literally memorizing something they tell you and regurgitating the information, right? You memorize what you got to do, push your book to the side, get on your computer, right? Figure out how you can sell something, right? Well, you can get out here, you can sell some sea moss, right? You can get out here, you can go and pick up arbitrage stuff from people's garage they give away for free and put it on an app and sell it. There's so much that you can do. The thing is, you have to know how to go out here and find it. If you in college right now, you're getting ready to go to college, you are foolish if you think that you have to wait to your 2 years or your 4 years, or your 8 years or your 10 years is up in order for you to start making some real money. There's no age that is associated with the amount of money you make. There are 14-year-olds that are graduating from Ivy League schools. There are 6-year-olds that are making millions of dollars leveraging YouTube. There's no age group. So being able to go to that college, go get on that campus, talk to these people. If you got a network and you want to join these societies and these clubs, like, do that. But understand it's networking, because we're here is who you know, not what you know. We've heard that before, but it's transitioning and evolved beyond that. It's no longer what you know. It's no longer just who you know, but it's who you know and what can you do for them. Which one of their problems can you solve? The person that solves the most problems is the person that's the most successful as far as business.
Man,
so if we're out here striving to solve problems, we're taking this money and we're getting access to wherever we're getting it from, and we're applying it to the finding problems and solutions. Then we're talking about real change. We're talking about impact. We're talking about legacy. We're talking about breaking generational curses. Just that simple paradigm shift.
Man, I'm over here. Nah, I'm over here like clicking my my microphone off and on, like on Clubhouse, like trying to do the whole applause type of thing. Man, like and Iiggie or JKrypto, let me ask you, like, because I think that, you know, us as brown and black communities, we have the advantage, man, because the more I work with people in corporate America and stuff like that, I'm like, man, so much of that is street knowledge that I've already had in my life already. Like my street struggle, it applies to my everyday life in corporate America. I'm like, man, that's like, not anybody that loves Trump. I'm like, man, I know a player and a pimp when I see one. And like everything Trump does, I'm like, I can't be mad at him, man, because that's what a player, a pimp, and a lot of people don't understand that. But like, you said we have one part of the equation, like, but we got to all come together. Like, okay, well, like this is that. Like, we have that hustle mentality now that we're older and part of the corporate America. We have to utilize that and actually make it work to our advantage, man. Because I'm like, man, this is the stuff you're saying. Like, man, if I can go back and get a $500 vending machine, like I can return on an investment just like that. And like it makes more sense. And like, man, I'm glad that y'all were able to come on my show and like break it down, because man, if I can go back, man, I would definitely get me a vending machine, probably one or two of them. Like my $1,000 paid my rent, but man, if I would have invested $500, I could have my rent for a year, But I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all one question, because you all are businessmen. So, for those who are listening, and anybody who works with y'all, work with y'all, or who y'all work with, what's y'all's message to them for 2021 when it comes to finances? JKrypto, I'll start with you.
My message would be, now for one, I mean, I can't leave this out because it just goes against everything I stand for when I say I really stand firm on pushing the culture forward. But number one, I'm gonna have to first say that get yourself together internally. And what I mean by that is start really having a conscience, of what you are putting into your body, because it's important. I'm telling you, if you want to connect on a higher level, if you want to be a higher level observer and be able to have a sharper thought process, to be able to be keen, like when it comes to having clarity on a daily basis, being more energized and just being more fluent and more feeling more light, you know what I mean? And just, just with everything going on, I would say that's the first thing, is to create a conscience of that. Because once you do create the conscience for doing that, you're going to be able to excel from a financial point on way higher levels, because you're going to be feeling better. You're going to have more energy. And when you are doing these things, like I say, all of this stuff is connected. It all correlates. But when you're doing this, you're going to make better decisions with your finances. You're going to be more creative. So you're going to be able to create. Your creatives are going to be a lot better. You know what I mean? So just getting involved in and making sure that you are doing that first and foremost. And number two, from a financial standpoint, is just making sure that you're positioning yourself in and you're educating yourself and getting in, like, getting educated from podcasts like this, and getting educated from, we got these apps like you was just talking about, like on Clubhouse, and not just getting on there and following a bunch of people that, is not going to bring you any value, but get on there and follow people that's going to bring you value, just like how we were all able to link up and connect and be able to do this today, right? And I'm speaking on that because I'm saying position yourself to where you are putting yourself in the field and putting yourself in an environment of abundance, and people who want that same, who are aligned with that same energy, who are aligned with that same type of vision, and one thing we always say is that, align yourself with people that's they had the same vision as you, or their vision is aligned with yours, but it's bigger than your vision. You feel me? And so, like, being able to do that, that's important too. And then when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to finances, man, don't become attached. Don't become so much attached to the money. Like, we as a people, like, we grew up in this culture that, we glorified, because we come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we come from a lot of trauma. We come from a lot of pain, and so when we get it, we glorify, like, the money and holding the money up, and you know what I'm saying, and like you see in the rap industry and stuff like that, like we see a lot of that. But just understanding, like, don't become attached to the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get an investing, understand that, you're not gonna win every single time. You know what I'm saying? But what Buddy say in Fridays, like, you get knocked down, but you live, you know what I'm saying? You live to fight another day. So always having that in your mentality and just understanding that as you going through your journey, you know what I'm saying? Like, making sure that, as you going through your journey, that you understand that you don't become attached, because at the end of the day, money is just energy. That's all it is, man. It's literally just energy and where you putting it at. You know what I'm saying? So, like, don't become attached to the material things, but become attached to accomplishments and the journey. Become attached to the journey. You know what I'm saying? If the journey means something to you, become attached to that, because that's what's important. And you know, like I say, you know, you don't want to be you know, you don't want to put yourself in a position, because like as the like our culture, like I said, we glorify this stuff on a daily basis. And so it's like, it's all we see. And so it's all we end up, you know, knowing. But just putting yourself in a position to like get out of that and go into a new form of thinking. And it's like, you know, like what my boy Derek Grace always say, you know, unlearn, relearn. You know, take yourself through that process, because we so emotional, like, because of all of the things we done went through, and we know our history and our ancestor history, like we become so emotional to certain things, you know what I'm saying, that we don't know how to battle the emotions sometimes, because we really just, you know, naturally we're great people. We are the originals, you know what I'm saying? And so when you think of that, you know, we gotta learn how to, like, see, me personally, I'm a very, I guess you could say I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm a very militant person. So I just believe, like, you know, I understand like how war is fought and how it's won. I understand how to win wars. And like one thing I know is that you can't fight and win a war off of emotion, because if you think about it, right, when you get in an argument and then you get in a fight and you allow anger to control your thought process, when you in a fight, you're gonna potentially lose a fight when you fighting somebody that knows the actual art of war and knows the art of fighting. You see what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be more poised, it's gonna be less emotion, because when you letting out all this anger and emotion, that's energy that you letting out, and you can be conserving that energy to utilize to actually win the actual war. Like, you may lose a few battles, but that's all right, because, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you got to lose a few battles to actually win the war. And all that means is that in order for us to break generational curses, we got to make generational sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? And so if we can get into that mentality, you know what I'm saying, we got to get into that type of mentality as a people and as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because the financial stuff is, you know, that stuff is a given. Like, once we change our mentalities and we start seeking wisdom first, and we start praying for wisdom instead of praying for money, we're praying for wisdom. That's everything we need. You know what I'm saying? Because with wisdom is gonna give us the ability to understand how to go out and get the money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, money's that's just a byproduct. You know what I mean? Like, but when it comes to what we need to be doing as a people, that's what we got to start understanding. Is like, because we get so caught up in our emotions, you know, we're not seeing clearly all the time. Our judgment is clouded, because instead of us being high level observers, we're low level observers, because we letting what we see and what we consume and what the media is trying to portray to us, we letting it control our emotions, when really we should be looking at it and we should be controlling, you know, we should be controlling our own realities based off of what we're consuming. And so, like, that's important. And that's what I think people need to kind of get in the mindset of before just moving into us having a whole bunch of money. Because the thing is that we say this all the time, you know, if we don't get it together with this health and this internal stuff, like over the next 20, 30 years, we're going to have it's a lot of motherfuckers getting to the bag, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to have a lot of rich, wealthy, sick motherfuckers, because, you know what I'm saying, we didn't take care of ourselves on our way up, you know, to get to the bag, because the only thing that was on our mind was getting to the bag. And now that we got the bag, now we suffering from different sicknesses that we gotta be able to control some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of like my spill on it. It's just making sure that we tapping into the things that actually matter that's gonna lead us to a better way of life.
Wow, man, that was deep. That was really deep, man. You got me like just pumped up right now, man, ready to go. So Iiggie, the same question to you. The last question for you is like, it's 2021. What can be your advice to people when it comes to financially and wealthy?
Man, that's my brother, man. And so like these conversations we have on a daily basis, man. And so you're gonna hear a lot of what we say like align like perfectly, right? Even if we have a different perspective on it, the end result's gonna be the same. And my thing is gonna be right along the same lines: consuming life, right? Like I can teach you the mechanics of exactly what to do to go out and create a digital product and then go out into the marketplace and sell it. Now, I can show you exactly how to do that. It's not hard. I can have a conversation with you over a Zoom and show you exactly what you need to do, where to go, even down to where to click on the screen. But if your mindset is not together, right, then none of that's gonna make you're not gonna when you hit a hiccup or when you promoting a couple of days in order to get through that, you're not gonna have the endurance. You're not going because your body and your spiritual nature is not, you haven't been feeding it to build it up, to build that endurance. And so like one of the like it's almost every day like we having conversations, and we're I say iron sharpens iron, so we have these conversations on a daily basis. We're having like new awakenings, new breakthroughs every single day. And so the biggest breakthrough that today we've had, which we were just talking about it, is how much our emotions as a people, as a culture, cloud our judgment, right? America is dealing with our people the same way that our people deal with relationships, right? In a degree, right? You ever been in a relationship or you had a friend in a relationship that make that girl mad so that they can stay out longer or so they can go hang out? Because you know that if you do a little something, you're gonna be all up in their emotions, which is gonna be a complete distraction, a smoke screen, and you over here doing whatever it is you really want to do in the first place, right? That's exactly what they do. They know that we have so much undealt with trauma over the past that we are triggered very, very, very easily as a people. And so they know if they want to, you hear all the time, don't let the left hand know what the right hand doing. They over here got your left hand up and they making everybody mad with their left hand. Meanwhile, the right hand over here pulling the strings, pushing the buttons, signing the documents that is really fucking up shit. But we so caught up in the emotion of how something make us feel, right? And not knowing how to really digest those emotions because we've been suppressing them for so long. We've had dealt with so much trauma for so long. We consuming foods that don't aid in us being able to detox from all that trauma. So we gotta, like you said, unlearn, relearn. We have to detox from all of that bullshit, right? And then we have to start consuming the stuff that's gonna give us the ability to be grounded, so that we can have something come to us, and we can feel a certain way about it. I'm not saying control your emotions. I'm not saying suppress your emotions. I'm saying manage them, right? And understand them, digest how it makes you feel, and then make an educated decision or a calculated decision or a strategic decision on how to move from there versus just reacting, right? Just they be slow to react, right? They tell you take a deep breath, think. Don't just speak. But as a culture, this is exactly what we out in the marketplace doing. This is the one of the biggest reasons that we are unable to move forward and unable to see blessings that are in disguise. Right? You mentioned Trump, right? And you mentioned revelation that you had. Just understand, like, this is who he is. You heard some elder done told you before. Somebody show you who they are, believe them. Right? He showed me who he was, so I believed him. I wasn't trying to make him nobody else, no presidential standard. What I said, okay, this is what's been given to me. This is what it is. So I can deal with that. Now, what else is got to deal with? And our people, man, he a racist. Oh, he said this against black people. man, listen, bro. Like, I get it. I'm 100% with you, bro, on the racial shit. But you gotta understand, I'm from Mississippi. We just changed our flag from the Confederate flag last year. So a old white man calling me a nigga was something I dealt with almost on a daily basis being grown up in Mississippi. That wasn't nothing new to me. So man, he was like, oh shit, now y'all see how these white men is. I'm not saying all of them, but the majority of them that I dealt with in Mississippi was the energy I felt. So it was like, and I made a post on my Instagram, literally talking about a screenshot a post that 19 Keys had made about Trump being he said the best president ever because he single-handedly exposed that America was a corporation that was paying out dividends. Like, he exposed this too. So now that we know, you can't tell me racism don't exist. You can't tell me prejudice don't exist. You can't tell me that y'all ain't out here talking like this to each other. Now, boom, out in the open. Ain't no more conversation about that shit. Now, what is? But people were so caught up in all of that, our people didn't understand that he opened the door for businesses. And understanding that the tax code is written for a business. You can still work your job and have an LLC and have the structure of your family inside of your LLC, and you can benefit from your tax write-off. You can pay your kids up to, I think it's $12,000 a year, and it'd be a write-off. You can take advantage of the system in place. So we get so, you know what I'm saying, so emotional. We get so angry. Her bro talking about you're angry, you can lose a fight. We get so angry, we ready to go charging straight through the door, blow up shit versus, okay, this happened. Let me see how I can work this. Like, this was given to me. This what it is. What's the blessing in this? I consume, plant-based food. I'm on a plant-based diet, but my grandma said all the time, take the meat, leave the bone. Right? You sit here trying to chew on the bone and tell me whatever when you get the meat that was on there right next to it. Why are you trying to chew on the bone? Get the meat, leave the bone, throw it out, and go on about your day. But we trying to sit here and figure out all the problems with the bone, what's wrong with it, why we can't do this, and it's a whole meal over here ready for you to consume if you just decide to just take a look at it and understand and don't get so caught up. Man, you gave me this big ass bone. Yeah, but it was 5 pounds of food on there that you could eat. So removing all the bullshit, detoxing from so much in the past, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Once you get in that space, anything you touch will turn to gold. It don't matter what it is. Anybody can show you anything that's in line with you, and you will make it blow up. So, like, there's a billion different ways to go out here and make money, become successful, be wealthy, right? But it all starts with who you are. Know self is to know God. And then to know God is to know the creator. When you know the creator, you can be the creator. And then you can create the life that you truly, truly want. And it's all about knowing self, detoxing from that, not getting caught up in the emotions, and then moving forward. And then from there, you know what I'm saying, if you want me to teach you how to run Facebook ad, how to turn your intellectual property into something that you can sell, if you want to know more about crypto, right? If you want to know more about stocks, if you want to know more about how you can sell a physical product from your home, like, we can get into all of that. But if you don't have the first part of that together, then it's going to be very, very, very difficult for you to be receptive to anything that anybody teaches you in order to progress. So, yeah, that's my soapbox. Yeah.
Whealthy, providing real, innovative solutions for creating wealth and establishing holistic health. Gentlemen, wow. Y'all just came on the show and murdered it. Like, wow, man, y'all just killed this. And man, I'm at a loss for words right now, man, because that's why I had this platform, because our show is about having these uncomfortable conversations, man. And everything that I've been thinking in my head, man, y'all just came on here and just double down on it. And just, man, thank y'all, man, because we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better. And man, y'all just, I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect with having y'all on, man, because if y'all are not on Clubhouse, and make sure y'all follow JKrypto and Iiggie, but man, these are the conversations that we have on Clubhouse. and it's new. And I'm not trying to plug Clubhouse, but man, these brothers are on a mission. They're out here dropping gems. Like, you have to follow these guys. And so I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Iiggie, how can people follow you on social media? How can they be in contact with you and do business? Plug yourself, man. Go ahead and plug yourself.
Okay. Again, guys, my name is Ignacio Zambrano II, social media marketing and advertising genius. You can connect with me on Instagram at IIGGIE. Again, that's IIGGIE. On Clubhouse, IIGGIE. On Twitter, IIGGIEZ. Right. The best way to reach me is on Instagram. You go to my Instagram, go to my bio. You'll be able to click and see and get access to everything that I have. As far as being able to help you learn, being able to help you heal, being able to help you create income and create wealth. It's all right there in my bio, and I'll be adding more. So definitely connect with me if you have any questions about anything. Don't be afraid to shoot me a message because I definitely answer back. So connect with me.
All right, and JKrypto, same thing. How can people reach you on social media and contact with you and do business with you?
Yeah, so you can reach me, just JKrypto on IG. You can reach me at just JKrypto with the KRYPTO _, and that's my IG. And then on Clubhouse, you can follow me. It's just the same thing, JKrypto, no underscore on that one. And then also, for anybody that's really trying to tap in with me, and lock in, you can lock in with me by just shooting me a text message to my my business line. My business line is 817-662-2938. Again, that number is 817-662-2938. And that's just so you can add yourself to my my direct contacts list. And also you'll be able to have access to any information on any upcoming projects that I got going on, or anything that any information that I have on just what's going on. And also you can, if you have any projects that are upcoming, or you're working on any projects and you want to share them with me, maybe you need marketing for them, or maybe you need some sort of assistance with building the brand for it, or building a brand, or just getting things out there to the masses. You can also shoot that information to me through my my text line too as well. So that's pretty much how you can lock in with me. So,
and of course, we'll have all this information written down at the description below. But if you want to make sure you want to help creating income online and having health tips, man, you tap into them, man, because we started talking last year in December. And, I talked to Iiggie. I'm already got my roots and my herbs, and I'm over here punching the bag. So Iiggie, man, he's been challenging me. And so I'm on here. I'm on day 12 now. And so I'm already seeing a big difference already, man. These guys are, and I'm telling you, man, this is knowledge that you need to tap into. And so, man, thank y'all once again for coming on the show. You guys are always welcome to come on the show, talk about what you're doing. For that, man, thank y'all once again. Iiggie, Ignacio Zambrano II, and Justin, JKrypto, Marley, thank y'all so much for coming on the Show Podcast. Thank y'all.
Hey, man, I appreciate you so much, man. Wealthy, impact over income.
Power over popularity.
There you go.
Straight up, we know that all lives matter, but historical events have shown that there is an inverse power dynamic between the races in our country. To highlight this, we present our Black Lives Matter merchandise. Because let's be real, some of you don't seem to understand that this isn't the organization, but a message. That message: end inequality towards minorities in America. And just in case that's too complicated for you in English, we have the phrase translated into 10 different languages. Visit StraightUpShowPodcast.com for this and all our other merch. That's STR, the number 8, showpodcast.com. Shirts as low as $19.99.
Man, big shout out to Iiggie, Ignacio Zambrano II, and JKrypto. These guys have been doing great with their company, Whealthy. Make sure you guys tap in and go see them. I need to get you and Lee on Clubhouse because, you know, we talk about a lot of stuff on Clubhouse, and I met those guys on Clubhouse. So, I mean, here they are. Thank you guys once again for coming on the show. I mean, the brand Whealthy has actually helped people make almost six figures. I mean, they've done almost six figures of work. So, I mean, shout out to those guys in Whealthy, JKrypto and Iiggie. Make sure you guys tap in. So I want to start investing my money now. I mean, with DoorDash, all these places that's making a lot of money this last year. I mean, it's kind of, you got to hop on it, you know? So what about y'all?
So with me and cryptocurrency, I'm not at that phase yet to where I want to invest in it, mainly because I'm still at I need to get rid of all my debt phase. So the extra funds, especially with me being a entrepreneur, the all the funds I need right now is I'm still building my foundation. But as soon as that is done, yes, crypto, even some of the, you know, stocks or IRAs, getting all my investments going will be the next step. So this, for the people that are past the phase that I am, is definitely helpful.
Yeah, and it's like you don't have to just do it, you know, at a large portion. You can do it like bit by bit, and that's the crazy part about it. And especially like you said, getting your, you know, hopefully this administration can really get rid of student loans so like my credit can increase. But Lee, apps like, you know, Acorn, do you just spend like whatever you get and they put the rest of it into like, you know, an investment? I mean, what do you think about that?
That's a pretty brilliant idea, and I'm surprised it's something we're only just now getting. It's something I wish I had like in my 20s. Here I am now, 36, and it's like, oh, maybe I should start saving money for the future. But yeah, that's a ship I definitely think I might jump on.
Yeah, and I like how they gave us advice about college children to like, or college people to like, if you get that lump sum of money, don't just blow it on random stuff. Because Lee and Brandon, we all know going to class when the first beginning months of school is packed, and all of a sudden when they get that refund check, like now we can find parking at the campus.
Yep.
But no, we gotta take that money and do something with it. So if you're in college, really network, like they said, network and invest. If you get a lump sum or something, make sure you don't just waste it or something, because if you get a student loan, that money you will have to pay back. But at the same time, if you get a Pell Grant, make sure, you know, you take care of yourself, but don't splurge yourself, because you're at college for a reason. And you don't want to just sit there and blow your chances. But make sure you network and invest your money, because I mean, this year. I think right now there's no excuse not to be trying to make a step up in your finances this year, especially when you basically had a year off, you know. And so take advantage of, if you get a stimulus check, you don't need it, you know, invest in it, you know, make it work for you. I'm pretty sure that the government will get that money back sometime soon. But until then, make sure you make it work for you, and don't just blow it and miss your opportunity. This is a brand new year, y'all. It's 2021. We got to do better. I know I got to do better. So I'm trying. You know, no thanks to Brandon and being there, but I got to make sure I do better, especially financially. And so I encourage you to do the same as well. It may be hard. Trust me. You're talking to a guy that lived off of $20 a week, buying bologna and bread just to make sure we kept food in our stomachs, but it can be done. You know, you can save. So don't get discouraged at all, because you can do it. Trust me. But we want to keep the conversation going. Make sure you go to our website online, all our social media platforms. Lee, what is our website?
Our website is straightupshowpodcast.com. That is www.str8upshowpodcast.com.
And you'll be surprised how much I messed it up on this take. But make sure you go to our website and visit our website, get all our merchandise, listen to all our shows, actually see our previous vintage episodes back when we were in college, spending all our college money that we did not blow, because we got degrees now. So we're doing good. Make sure you join the conversation. Until then, there's only one rule to our show is you got to be
Straight up.
Straight up.